What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mass Steeler Fan here. We got a preview today. Preview of the 3-0 Steelers going in to the Loud House against the Indianapolis Colts, who are 1-2. I got a pretty good matchup this Sunday. Right off the bat, I'll be honest, I don't see the Colts doing much damage to the Steelers. We'll go in by position, what I think is better, worse per team, for team. We'll get right into that. Starting off, we'll go straight into QBs. Start from the beginning. QBs. Justin Fields versus Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson can be dangerous in times if you allow him to scramble and make a weird chunk play. But Anthony Richardson put the ball in danger a lot. A lot. Last couple of games, he's had some pretty weird picks. He misses some wide open receivers. Throws the ball hard, though. Freak athlete. You let him pull off something fluky, it could definitely change the game. So I think we got to keep him under wraps, keep him under control, and let him make mistakes. You could basically say this is his rookie year, being out all last year, majority of last year. Let's let him make the rookie mistakes with our defense. Cannon of an arm, though. Freak athlete. On the other hand, we have Justin Fields, who is playing some of the best football he's ever played, I believe, in his career. Maybe not statistically wise, but just eye test wise. Playing some of the best football, leading the Steelers to 3-0. I like him versus Anthony Richardson in this matchup. He hasn't been turning the ball over. Anthony Richardson's been turning the ball over a ton. Justin Fields necessarily just needs to be a game manager in this game, if I'm being completely honest. We'll get to the Colts defensive line, but they have been terrible stopping the run. So Justin Fields doesn't really need to go out there and do anything spectacular this weekend. Although, if need be, for whatever reason, this game gets out of hand, I think we can rely on Justin Fields. Their cornerbacks or their secondary doesn't seem to be too hot from what I'm looking at right now. That's why I like Justin Fields matchup all day. All day, every day versus Anthony Richardson. I'm taking Justin Fields in that. We'll go to running backs. I think running backs is the only area in this matchup where I take the Colts side. Jonathan Taylor, he is a monster running back. He has done great things in this league. I take him as a better back overall versus Najee, and I believe Jalen Warren's going to be out this week or limited. I want him to be limited. And Cordell Patterson. Jonathan Taylor is better than both of them. In space, he's better. He's not as much of a physical runner like Najee and Cordell Patterson are. But overall, he has the ability to take it to the house whenever he wants. So I think that's a big key matchup in this game is for us to stop Jonathan Taylor. You stop Jonathan Taylor, you keep Anthony Richardson from making those big freak weird plays where he scrambles out and throws a bomb off his back foot for 90 yards. Really the only two threats in this team. Jonathan Taylor being the biggest one, and I think we'll lock him up pretty well. I don't see him doing much, Jonathan Taylor doing much against our defensive line. They've done decent with the run stopping. Hell, we stopped J.K. Dobbins. They were going into that. Chargers were going into last week's game, damn near 200 rushing yards a game. So we held them. So I don't think it's gonna be any different. Run defense is gonna step up big here, and I believe we're gonna stop or Jonathan Taylor. He's not gonna do much against us. But I do like him better than Najee Harris and Cordell Patterson. On the flip side, with Najee and Cordell Patterson, Colts defensive front has not been the best. I believe they're one of the worst in the league right now when it comes to stopping the run, when it comes to handling the run. We're a physical team. That's what we like to do is run the football. We're going to run it down these guys' throats all day. All day. I believe, if I'm correct, Isaac Salamalu, our guard, he was practicing. I don't know if he's going to play this weekend. but he was practicing. So if he comes back, that's definitely a big boost for offensive line. That makes our running game a whole lot more lethal. But they're not going to stop Najee and Cordell Patterson. We're too physical of a team. They don't have anybody up front or in the back really that I could see stopping us too crazy. I'm looking at about maybe we could easily rush over for 100 yards on this team. Easily. Next thing we'll look at is wide receivers. We'll compare wide receivers real quick. All in all, this is another thing too that I might give to the Colts for a whole. I think as a whole, their wide receiver room is just slightly better or more developed than our wide receiver room. That being said, I like top guy, our top guy, George Pickens, better than their top guy, Michael Pittman Jr. All day. All day. Now, their wide receiver twos, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, I think I like them better than our other wide receivers. Yeah, I'll take them over our wide receivers. You put them on our team, they're going to be pretty decent. So I think they have an edge. I'll give the Colts an edge at wide receivers. I think they'll beat us out in that category. Michael Pittman Jr. can do stuff in space. Alec Pierce can do stuff in space, especially down the field with Anthony Richardson throwing them bombs. So you definitely have to look out for that. We got to keep it contained on that. Don't let them go running down forever. Because, I mean, you could think that, hey, this dude's already 70 yards down the field, just kind of ease up, but then Anthony Richardson can throw that ball 90. So I'll give the Colts that. I'll give Colts two things now, slightly, running backs and a wide receiver room. Top wide receiver, I go with ours, George Pickens. And let me tell you something about it, right here, right now, on the Mass Dealer channel. There's three things you can guarantee every week coming from sports media. Stephen A. Smith hating the Cowboys. Charles Barkley hating those fat bitches down in San Antonio. Mass Steeler fan hating any cornerback that's going to be going up against George Pickens. I take George Pickens all day, every day in their matchup. Book it now. He's going to go off one touchdown, 130 yards. I know I said we're going to run the football, but we'll get to the cornerback setup here in a little bit. Their cornerbacks aren't stopping George Pickens. I'm looking at this depth chart. None of them are stopping him. But as a wide receiver room with Calvin Austin, maybe he can come up to his own again, keep up the same production he was last week. Muth, maybe. All in all, I just think they have a better wide receiver room. And I don't think our wide receivers will get that much look and that much help, being that I said that the run game is going to be favored heavily in this game. I don't see us favoring receivers that much. And if they do, it's number 14. Number 14. Next thing we're going to go down to, I believe that's everything on the offensive side of the ball besides O-line. I like our O-line better than their O-line. I give it 50-50. Since we're going down position to position, I give it 50-50. Their O-line used to be really good. I don't think it's that great anymore. Our O-line has been decent, but defense to defense, I think our O-line is going to hold up better than their O-line versus our defense. So I'll give us the edge on their O-line, mainly because I think their defense is not good. So I'll give us our O-line. That gives us Fields over Anthony Richardson, Pickens over any of their wide receivers, O-line versus their O-line. We'll take that. On the defensive side of the ball, I mean, it's poor, to say the least. I don't like it. I'm trying to look at it. There's a couple people on here, maybe. I don't like the defense all the way. They have decent players. They have NFL starter players, but they don't have any guys on that team. You know, they don't have any game wreckers. They don't have any really big playmakers. All in all, we're just going to go defense as a whole here. Get closer wrapping up this video. We won't go position by position because our defense wipes the floor on their defense. I take Steelers defense 7 out of 7 days of the week for this matchup. With how poor Anthony Richardson has been playing, I love our defensive matchup against him. Our secondary versus Anthony Richardson versus their secondary. I take ours. I think JPJ is still coming into his own. He's playing great. Dante Jackson has not been playing bad at all. He's been playing a solid QB2, high in QB1, AB, or QB1A, QB1B. Minka Fitzpatrick, I mean, he's a ball hawk. Anthony Richardson, they're going to do some disguise. He's going to pick a ball off at least once. You can mark that down on this thing. Anthony Richardson throws the ball so crazy. Minka's going to get a pick. TJ against their offensive line, he's going to go crazy. Another game where he's just going to be blowing up the offensive line. Another game where he's going to be seeing the sacks. Herbig is coming up. I think he's going to do good. Whoa. I think he's going to do good on this offensive line. Defense all the way, man. We'll stop the run. Jonathan Taylor is the biggest key factor on their offense right now. We stop him. We make Anthony Richardson have to pass, and I believe this game will be over within the first half. We're going to run the ball down their throat and get up a couple scores. Call it over by halftime. I'm looking at it, man. I really just don't see. I don't see a world in which we should lose this game because almost in every aspect that we're good, they're bad. Running the ball, we're decent at running the ball. We don't give up on it. We stick to that. That's our pretty much identity. They're terrible at stopping the ball. We win there. Anthony Richardson is turnover prone, and we have turnover makers, playmakers on the defense, so we win there. Their offensive line versus our defensive front, we have playmakers. I think we win there all day too. There's just nowhere in this world where I think we should lose this game. That being said, Tomlin losses do happen. Steelers are notorious for a Tomlin loss, and this game has every making for it to be a Tomlin loss, where we lose to like we did the Patriots last year, where they're 3 and whatever. So that scares me. That scares me because for whatever reason, it's just called the Tomlin loss. Whether he gets his team ready, he forgets to get his team ready, he underestimates the team. He has the same mentality that I do, where I don't think this team's jack shit. What is the NFL? Any given Sunday, anything can happen. These are still top end players. They still need to go out there with the will to win. I'm shaking the shit out of the camera because I'm holding it because it's falling over. My bad. So I don't want to see a Tomlin loss. I don't. I'm hoping that this team doesn't give one up this season because I think we need to go 6-2 on the low end, maybe 5-3 on the low end before we go into our second half gauntlet, second season gauntlet. But hey, man, I don't. There's no way in the world I see us losing this game outside of Tomlin just not preparing his guys or us just taking them easy in the loud house. All day, every day, we win this game. Should win this game. Steelers should easily be 4-0 after this. I'll give a score prediction of about. I'm being optimistic here, and I'll say 27-9. Steelers take the win. couple touchdowns. Najee Harris runs it for 100 yards. Cordell Patterson gets his nice little bit. George Pickens, of course, gets his touchdown. Justin Fields continues to prove why he's the starter. And we win this game 27-9. Also, I think we get a defensive touchdown this game. For sure, get a defensive touchdown. Or multiple defensive turnovers, and it puts us in good field position to get that 27. Yeah, I think that's looking like a recipe for disaster. Last thing I want to say is Justin Fields coming from Chicago. Chicago just played the Colts last week, and Caleb Williams looked poor. Poor, dude. I mean, he made this Colts defense that's non existent, that's bottom of the barrel in the NFL, that's probably 30th in the NFL. He made them look like a top 5 defense. Couple picks, terrible. He made them look amazing. They made Caleb Williams look god awful. So Justin Fields, get your redemption this weekend. Show everybody in Chicago that they fucked up by letting you go. That you're here to stay. That you're an NFL starter QB. I believe in you. You have all of Steelers Nation backing you up. Go get your revenge game this weekend. Pop off for a couple TDs. Other than that, I think that's it. I think we win this game 27-9. Don't think they score a touchdown. A couple defensive stops. Yep. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about this game. What you guys believe is going to happen. And I'll keep you guys updated, hopefully, right after the game. 4-0, baby. Let's get it.